What's up everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about how to get started on your motorcycle journey. So I know it's definitely nerve-wracking getting into something new, anything in life. Starting out is always the hardest part. If you do the basics, do your research and just take the right steps, it's really not all that bad. So that's why I'm pretty much making this video right here. I feel like it's a good time since, the weather's starting to be super nice out, riding season starting. So hopefully this is helpful. All right, the very first step to starting your riding journey, and it's very simple. It's just to get the ball rolling. Stop putting it off. If you really want it, go after it. Because I've seen so many people, I've heard so many people throughout the years tell me like, I want to get a bike too. I'm like, okay, cool, that'd be sick. But 1, 2, 5, 10 years pass and then they don't even do it. There's always something. There's always going to be something, some reason why you can't do whatever you want to do. So just start. I feel like that's the very first thing, most important thing, because none of the other things matter. Nothing else on this list matters unless you just start. Honestly, the fact that you're even watching this video is a good sign that you're taking initiative to, start that process. I applaud you for that. I thank you for being here. Get started on that process. Second step, after you mustered up enough willpower and dedication to, start the process, is to get your license. The option that I would recommend, at least here in the US, I can't speak for any other country, and it should be like this in most states. The route that I would recommend is taking a motorcycle riding course. There's multiple benefits of going that route. You could always go the normal route, I guess you could call it, and that's to take the written test and then take like a on the bike riding exam. So it's just like some maneuvers around a circle or whatever. But I would recommend the other option, which is to take the motorcycle foundation course, MSF course. That has a lot of benefits to it. First benefit is that course counts towards the riding portion, so the on the bike exam portion that you take at the DMV. So that covers that. The only thing you would have to worry about is the written exam. The second benefit to taking that course is that it really does help you a lot to understand the basics of how to ride and how to be a good rider. It's definitely a good intro course. I took it, definitely recommend it. I'd say especially if you're an ultra beginner, you have no idea what you're doing, how to operate a motorcycle. That is definitely the route that I would take, because it'll definitely teach you a lot. It'll get you hyped up. All you have to do is pretty much just show up, because they supply the bike. For the most part, this is how it should be for MSF courses. They supply the bike, the helmet, think gloves maybe, but at least the more important parts, like the bike and the helmet. So you really don't have to worry about any of that. You literally just go in there to learn. So don't worry about all that extra stuff, the gear, bike, whatever. Just go in there to learn, and I think you will learn a lot. So it's definitely very valuable. And then the final thing about taking that course, the MSF course, is that you'll have slightly cheaper insurance. So, that's always a benefit. If something's cheaper, then do it for the discount too. So there really shouldn't be anything to be nervous about going into that MSF course. I'm thinking about making a video showing the basics on how to ride a motorcycle, all the different controls, clutch, throttle, braking, shifting. So be on the lookout for that. But it's really nothing to be nervous about. And they're very understanding too. I saw this guy drop a bike multiple times. At some point there is a limit, because I think he dropped it maybe 5 times. But you really shouldn't be too nervous at all. So after you've taken the MSF course and you've passed it, like you really should, like I said, nothing to be nervous about. Literally almost everyone passes that. After you do that, you'll get a little certificate. Next, you'll need the written portion. The written portion is the last step to getting your physical license. Like with the MSF course, there's really nothing to be nervous about when it comes to the written test, because most of that it's mostly common sense. Not too hard. You could study for it too. You could look up some study guides online, and that might help you out, but it's really not that bad. But just be sure to be camera ready, because you should pass, and I believe in you. You will pass that written test. They're going to take a picture for your license, and then they're going to give you a temporary license, and then they'll mail your physical thicker card in the mail. Then it'll be official. That's pretty much the hardest part. It should be all fun from that point on, because now you get to you know, look for motorcycles and buy your gear. Most important, helmet, and then jacket, gloves, riding shoes, and then these are actually riding jeans. They're Kevlar. That's what I'm talking about when I say gear. Wearing all the gear as much as possible should be your mindset. You know, that's all up to you. I know that can be a very touchy topic. Some people don't like wearing gear at all. It's up to you. You can do whatever you want. Maybe I'll do a little gear guide if you want to wear gear, because yeah, that could definitely be its own video. You know, many different types of jacket, a lot of different types of helmets, materials, types, just everything could be its own video for sure. But yeah, I would definitely recommend buying the gear after finish, you know, all the licensing processes, because you know, what if you come to find out you don't even like riding after taking the MSF course, or you know, for some reason you're that one-off person that does not pass. Now you've invested, you know, hundreds or $1,000+ in gear that wouldn't even be used. So that's why I just say buy it afterwards, after it's officially official. And then the final step, looking for a bike. If you have a bike lined up, great. If not, just be patient. New stuff comes on the market pretty often, so don't feel like you have to buy the very first thing you see. I know when I was looking for a bike, I wanted a very specific color, specific year. It wasn't looking like it was really popping up at all, but then it finally comes. Don't feel like you have to rush into it. You know, be patient. Don't buy a clunker. And you know, there's a whole bunch of things that goes into the process, and maybe I'll make another video, separate video on that, because that in itself is a very intricate process. You know, what questions to ask, what to look for. So maybe I'll do a separate video for that. But yeah, I mean, that's really all to it. Like I said, I know it's a new process, so this is what I would recommend. This is what makes sense to me, to do this in this order. Having your license and having your gear, when the perfect bike pops up, you'll be ready. You'll be ready to jump on it. You don't have to worry about, oh, I gotta get my license. No, that'll already be done. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole step-by-step process, simplified. In summary, muster up the willpower, dedication to want to start, and just you even watching this video proves that you're taking some initiative to start that process. So just keep that going. Don't let that motivation dry up. Just follow these steps. Get your license, take the MSF course, get your gear, and then you'll be ready to find the perfect bike that fits you. You'll be ready to go. License ready, gear ready, and knowledgeable on how to ride. So there'll be really not much to worry about. But yeah, that pretty much concludes this video. If you have any other tips, drop them below. And if you're a newer rider, hopefully this helps you a lot. I want to hear about it in the comments, that you finally got the bike, you finally got started, and you're on your way to hitting the road. So hopefully I see you out there. Peace.